Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, the average true range indicator showing Ethereum's volatility is drastically dropping off to the downside, and that actually means that a volatile move is coming very soon. So in just a moment, I'll be covering some important levels to pay attention to for all Ethereum holders out there, and also my next price targets for some brand new patterns that are forming on the Ethereum chart right now. And I will also be covering Ethereum versus Bitcoin, because right now we are seeing a very interesting setup in the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. All of that and more in this video, so make sure you're watching all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. This video is just going to be a quick Ethereum update because, of course, I did actually upload another Ethereum video just earlier today, or depending on your time zone, it could have been late yesterday. So if you missed that extra bonus upload on the channel, definitely check it out because I went into much more detail about the information in that video. So this, once again, is just going to be a quick follow-up video talking about some new patterns and price targets and things like that. But just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos each and every day to help you guys make some money in the crypto markets. So if you could just spend a couple seconds out of your day to just leave a like and subscribe down below, that seriously means a lot to me and it helps out the channel so much. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 2-hour time frame. And as you can see just here, obviously after that bullish movement to the upside, as we were breaking out of this falling wedge just here, which technically speaking is a bullish pattern, we have now entered just a short-term cool off along the way, because if you're actually looking in the RSI, I'll just bring out the RSI, as you can see just here, we were starting to get closer towards overbought areas. And in fact, on lower time frames, like the 1-hour time frame, we did reach into overbought areas, which was telling us that we are due for at least a short-term cool off after that area just there once again. And I'll let you guys know in my last Ethereum video where my exact stop loss was for this long position that I was in, which, by the way, I entered that long position right around here just before we saw this breakout to the upside, and I gave you guys that trade alert over on my Twitter. So if you're not following me over on my Twitter, definitely check that out if you want to get these extra trade signals, as you can see. Because as you can see here on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 2-hour time frame, we are about to see a bearish cross in the MACD and the actual momentum flip into the bearish momentum on the 2-hour time frame. So this isn't extremely significant considering that it is only on one of the smaller time frames. But just keep in mind that the last time that we saw something similar like what we're seeing right now in the MACD on the 2-hour time frame was right back here in around the 21st of August approximately. As you can see there, we had a bullish movement to the upside out of this bottom at around the same sort of lows just here. We had a bullish movement, and then we started entering into, a short-term top just here, a bit of sideways consolidation as the bullish momentum was starting to head to the downside. And then the moment we saw a bearish cross in the 2-hour time frame for the MACD just here, that was pretty much signaling the top and getting us ready for the next bearish movement to the downside. But once again, that is only just talking about in the short term. Zooming out to the 4-hour time frame, we aren't seeing the bearish cross just yet. This could potentially happen in the 4-hour time frame, because sometimes when things are setting up on the lower time frames, they start flowing over into the bigger time frames. But once again, we're yet to see it on the 4-hour time frames. So right now on the 4-hour chart, once again, we're not really looking overly bullish or overly bearish at the moment. But what we're seeing on the 4-hour time frame is the average true range, which is this indicator just here, absolutely drop off to the downside. This actually shows us the volatility for Ethereum relative to previous volatility. And once again, right now, it is pretty much at the lowest levels it's been at since all the way back around the beginning of August. If I place a horizontal line just here, we can use that to compare to previous time periods. And I'll just make it a different color so you can see it a bit easier. But yeah, right here in around the beginning of August, once again, was the last time that this indicator was sitting at these sort of values, what we're seeing right now. And during that time period just there, the Ethereum price was actually starting to top out before a short move to the downside. And then we entered a bit of sideways consolidation before a continued move in this uptrend, as you can see. So once again, in the immediate short term, we did actually have a little bit of some bearish price action come into play. Going back to the time before that one just there, the next one along where we were crossing this line in the average true range indicator just here was on the 26th of July this year. And as you can see, we saw a pretty volatile move in the Ethereum price the moment that this indicator was starting to spike to the upside yet again. And of course, this came after some pretty low volatility in this indicator. And this volatile move to the upside, within about 4 hours or so, we actually saw around a 9% move to the upside. And pretty much over one day, we actually saw around a 13% move to the upside before immediately erasing those gains the next day, as you can see just there. So once again, that was the volatility that we were looking at, just as we were seeing a spike in this volatility indicator once again. And the time before that, when we were actually crossing below that volatility line, the price of Ethereum was actually getting ready for a major bearish movement to the downside. As you can see just there, it was actually a day after we saw this indicator drop below that horizontal line just there that we actually saw the movement to the downside. And this movement to the downside that we're talking about was around a 14% dump for Ethereum that lasted for around 2 days. And keep in mind that on the daily time frame, as you can see, the volume is still dropping off quite a lot on the daily time frame, while the price has just been pretty much consolidating sideways, as you can see just here. So this is also showing us that a volatile move is coming soon, and it's very likely to be coming soon within the next couple of weeks just here, because this is actually a new pattern that I've drawn out on the Ethereum chart. Previously, I had this drawn out more like a horizontal bull flag, as you can see just there, but just updating this pattern to actually fit in these candlesticks a little bit better. That actually draws out an ascending triangle pattern, which technically speaking is a bullish pattern. So it's simply more likely to break out to the upside than it is to break to the downside, but it can still break to the downside. I just want to make that clear. In fact, roughly around 3 times out of 10, this type of pattern breaks to the downside, and about 7 times out of 10, this type of pattern breaks to the upside. So those are the statistics of this pattern for those of you that were wondering. And the important support for Ethereum that we need to be paying attention to in order to remain bullish on the daily time frame just here is coming in at around 3,070 US dollars approximately, but really around 3,000. If we hold above that level, we're still looking pretty good on the daily chart for Ethereum. And then the major resistance that we need to pay attention to for Ethereum is coming in at around 3,350 approximately. And not just because we've already confirmed that as resistance multiple times just here, we actually knew about that resistance level before we found resistance there due to the Fibonacci retracement tool. As you can see just here, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the all-time high to these lows at around 1,700. We have the golden pocket, the 61.8% Fibonacci level, coming in at around 3,360, give or take. Of course, this depends on how accurately you're drawing the Fibonacci retracement tool, but this is coming in pretty close to the actual resistance point where we've already confirmed as resistance. So once again, that is a major level that we need to break above in order to flip really bullish yet again on the daily time frame for Ethereum. And of course, I've already covered that quite a lot on the channel recently. But yeah, now getting into some price targets for Ethereum out of this ascending triangle pattern on the daily time frame. Once again, the technical price target, if we break the support, is coming in at around 2,660 approximately. But of course, we also need to pay attention to other areas of support as well before we can even look at that price target. So first of all, we have the support range ranging from around 2,900 to 3,000 US dollars. That has previously been an accumulation range for me over the past few weeks. And so far, all of the Ethereum that I have accumulated in that range has instantly turned into profits. So for those of you that have been following me on the channel over the past few weeks, congratulations on these Ethereum profits so far. But if we do actually break below that range, which of course is possible, then we have the 38.2% Fibonacci level coming in at around 2.7K, which is obviously coming in just before the technical price target at around 2,660 approximately. And of course, that also depends on whereabouts we break this line, if we break this line, because obviously that price target does not come into play unless we break the support first with some major confirmation. So what I mean by major confirmation is really a major spike in the volume here on the daily time frame, and also if we can get a proper daily close below some support levels just here, and preferably with a retest of the previous support level to confirm it as resistance. That can also play out as extra confirmation for Ethereum as well. But yeah, getting into the price target to the upside, if we break the resistance at around 3.3 to 3.4 thousand, the price target is coming in at around 3,800 US dollars per Ethereum. And that's really interesting that the price target is coming in right there, because that is actually a major Fibonacci level on the Ethereum chart just here. As you can see, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the all-time high down to these lows at around 1,700. Once again, we actually have the 78.6% Fibonacci level coming in at around 3.8K. So I would also expect resistance at that level anyway, due to the Fibonacci level being there. And once again, that has been a level that I have been covering quite a lot just recently on the channel. So if we really start breaking above 3.8K, above that level, there's really not too much resistance all the way up until the all-time high itself, coming in at around 4.4K, which is obviously quite a gain from the current prices of Ethereum. But once again, none of that is confirmed while we are still below that 3,350 US dollar level. Once again, we need to see a confirmed break above that resistance to confirm those higher price targets to come into play. Now getting into the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart on the 4-hour time frame, this is seriously an Ethereum chart that I'm paying strong attention to because I'm just about to take action on this chart just here, and I'll let you guys know exactly what that means in just a moment. But as you can see just here, first of all, we are seeing an ascending triangle pattern forming on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart on this 4-hour time frame once again. And as I just explained earlier, an ascending triangle pattern is technically speaking a bullish pattern, so it is simply more likely to break out to the upside, but it's not impossible for it to break to the downside. I want to make that clear as well. But yeah, as you can see, we've been using this level as support multiple times. This level right now is coming in at around 0.066 Bitcoin per Ethereum. So if we start breaking below that level just there with some sort of confirmation, then that is how you know that we're looking at some lower price targets to come into play. And in fact, just mentioning the lower price target to get it out of the way, if we break the support, that price target's coming in at around 0.064 Bitcoin per Ethereum approximately. And right now, the resistance for Ethereum versus Bitcoin in the short term is coming in at around 0.0674 Bitcoin per Ethereum. And as you can see, that's been confirmed resistance 3 times now. And if we break that point of resistance just there to the upside, of course, the price target is actually coming in at around 0.0697 Bitcoin per Ethereum, which from the point of the breakout just there to that price target is around a 3.3% move approximately. But you have to keep in mind that even though that seems like a really small move for Ethereum, that is actually Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So of course, if Bitcoin is gaining to the upside, Ethereum would be gaining 3% on whatever Bitcoin is actually gaining. But only of course, if we break the resistance first with some sort of confirmed breakout. Once again, that is when that price target comes active. But what's absolutely amazing that I'm seeing right now in the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart on this 4-hour time frame once again is the huge trend change in the RSI on this chart. Once again, the RSI for Ethereum versus Bitcoin on this 4-hour time frame has been in a very long downtrend over the past few weeks, and it actually started in around the beginning of August, so nearly a month ago now. And then it was only around a week ago that the RSI started to bottom out, and we're starting to head to the upside once again. So we're forming this really nice U shape, this really nice rounded bottom. And so this actually tells us that we are due for a move to the upside sometime soon, because usually if the RSI is heading into an uptrend, that actually is a leading indicator for the potential uptrend in the price. Now, of course, nothing is guaranteed in the markets, but this has been a very reliable indicator for myself as a part of my strategy. So especially if this stays in an uptrend in the RSI, once again, we are actually very likely to see a move to the upside sometime soon for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So using all of that information, I myself, if we can continue to confirm this as support, and especially if Ethereum can start breaking above this line of resistance just here, I will actually move some of my Bitcoin holdings into Ethereum to hold that Ethereum for the longer term. Because of course, if Ethereum is heading to the upside against Bitcoin, that means Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin's gains. But keep in mind that trading between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and really trading your Bitcoin for any other altcoin out there to try and gain even more Bitcoin in a short-term trade like that, that is actually a risky strategy, especially for the beginners out there. I do not recommend a strategy like that for the complete beginners. The best strategy for the beginners, historically speaking, has simply just been to dollar cost average into the markets with a long-term perspective. Keep a long-term mindset when you're dollar cost averaging. And once again, historically speaking, you would have done very well if you stuck to that strategy over the last few years. And of course, I'll let you guys know if I do end up making that move right as I'm making it on this channel and also on my Twitter in real time. This is where you'll see the update first, because of course, it's much easier for me to send out a quick tweet over here than it is for me to make an entire video about it here on the channel. So if you want these quick updates throughout the day, once again, and also these trade setups, definitely make sure you're checking out my Twitter. The link to my Twitter is in the description down below once again. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future videos. And I just want to say I really do appreciate all of your support on this channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.